Whispers of the Crimson Wood. In a forgotten village nestled between mist-covered mountains, tales of the Crimson Wood were whispered in hushed tones. The forest, with trees twisted and bleeding sap as red as blood, was a place of dread. Generations spoke of a curse that befell the wood, a punishment for sins long forgotten. Yet, the stories were enough to keep even the bravest souls away. Mira had heard the stories all her life, but desperation drives one to risk anything. Her younger brother, Elias, had fallen ill with a sickness the village healer could not cure. In her grief, she remembered an old legend. Deep within the forest grew the crimson flower, a bloom of blood-red petals said to heal any ailment. Though no one who entered the forest ever returned, Mira's love for her brother outweighed her fear. With a flickering lantern and a dagger clenched tight, she stepped into the forest as the sun dipped below the horizon. The air was thick and wet, carrying a metallic scent. Leaves rustled with whispers that seemed to call her name. Twisted branches loomed, clawing at her as she passed. Shadows shifted at the corners of her vision, but when she turned, nothing was there. Hours passed, and the forest only grew darker. Her lantern's light flickered. Whispers turned to mocking laughter, and her resolve began to waver. But then she saw it, a soft crimson glow in the distance. Heart pounding, she pushed forward, finding a clearing bathed in an eerie red light. At its center stood the crimson flower, its petals pulsing like a heartbeat. She reached out, but a sharp pain struck her arm. Mira gasped as something cold and skeletal gripped her wrist. She looked up into the hollow eyes of a creature draped in shadows, its smile filled with jagged teeth. The whispers around her intensified, voices pleading, warning her to leave. The creature's grip tightened, but Mira thrust her dagger into its arm. It recoiled with an inhuman screech, and she tore the flower free, clutching it to her chest as she sprinted back into the forest. The branches seemed to twist, blocking her path, but desperation drove her forward. The whispers were louder now, accusing her of theft, condemning her. The lantern flickered out, and she was plunged into darkness. Only the soft glow of the flower guided her. She could hear the creature crashing through the undergrowth behind her, its breath hot on her neck. Just as claws grazed her shoulder, she burst from the forest, collapsing into the village square. Panting and trembling, she looked back. The Crimson Wood was silent, the shadows lurking just beyond the tree line. Returning home, she brewed a potion with the petals and fed it to Elias. Color returned to his cheeks, and his fever broke. Relief flooded her, but that night, as she sat beside her brother's bed, she heard the whispers again, closer this time. The scent of iron filled the air, and Mira turned slowly to see twisted branches creeping through the window, clawing toward her. The whispers were a chorus now, a promise of vengeance. The Crimson Wood does not forgive. The end?